today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I am streaming to you from beautiful Budapest here in Central Europe. I hope everybody is having a great week. This is a members chat class. What that means is members can chat. Everybody else is welcome to view. To become a member, you need to click the join button beside the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. If you do not see it, you can send me an email. This is an IELTS Task 2 writing class. Task 2 is very similar in both the academic and the general versions of the test. Similar types of questions. So practicing Task 2 in this class will help you with academic or general modules of writing. Mekonnen, Bezawit, good to see you in class. There's some members joining in. Hi, Jayaram. Students, materials do come from our websites, aehelp.com for academic version of the test, and GIELTS help, that's general IELTS help.com for the general version of this exam. Hi, Li Ying. Hi, Xing Hung. Download our app for the academic IELTS. Look for this shield. Search your iOS and Android app stores for academic IELTS help. And if you have questions, comments, concerns, members, if you have requests for these members chat classes, make sure to send them to my email, Adrian, ADRIAN, @aehelp.com. Hi, Roshni. Hi, Alexander. Good to see more members coming into the class. You can get our books in hardcover as well as digital format on Amazon. Search for these titles, AE Helps Academic IELTS or GE Helps General IELTS. Let's get going with Task 2, and then in 90 minutes, we will have a listening practice, Task 1 and 2. This Task 2 question was sent to us by one of our members, and it reads like this: IELTS Writing Task 2. In many parts of the world, people spend much time to research family history. Some say that this has lots of benefits. Others believe that we should focus on the present and future generations. Discuss both views and give your own opinion. Write at least 250 words. Kind of an interesting question, certainly, about family history, looking at the past or looking at the future, perhaps both. We need to discuss both. All right, members, what should be my first step? So I open up my Task 2 question in the exam booklet for the IELTS, or maybe I'm on that page if I'm doing the computer-based, and I read this question. What should be the first? And it has to be very mechanical here. So your strategy should be step 1, step 2, step 3, that you practice at home before the test. So this should happen quickly. What's my step number 1? Yeah, let's paraphrase the question. That's right, Shang Hung. Let's state the question in our own words. Make sure we understand it. Collect some valuable vocabulary. So I'm going to do that. You can do the same. So in several regions of the globe, instead of in many parts of the world. Okay, that's the first bit. And ideally, when you're practicing your English, your vocabulary, you're practicing paraphrasing at home, you're paraphrasing at about at least 50% of the speed that I'm at. Okay, so I realize I'm doing it fairly quickly. You don't have to be as fast, but about half that speed should be your goal. So far, in several regions of the globe, individuals invest many hours to explore their family's past. All right, so there is my full paraphrase. Okay, while we're waiting for our members, here's the original question for the task 2 one more time. In many parts of the world, people spend much time to research family history. Some say that this has lots of benefits. Others believe that we should focus on the present and future generations. Discuss both views and give your own opinion. Okay, write at least 250 words. Notice that this is at least 250 words, not 230, not 240, it's 250. So if you go over 250, that's a good idea. Okay? Band 7, 8, 9 essays are usually more than 250 words. All right? Here's my paraphrase. In several regions of the globe, individuals invest many hours to explore their family's past. Certain people state that this has some advantages. Others ascertain that society ought to concentrate on the current generations and those to come. Explain both of these perspectives and give your own thoughts. This is a very direct paraphrase of this original sentence or original sentences. Notice that I have at least 70% word replacement in my paraphrase, and it's at least 95% accurate. That should be your goal, all right? What's my next step? So step 1, paraphrase. What's step number 2? What is step number 2? So I've done my quick paraphrase. Step number 2, again, members, in this class, I'm going to push you a little bit. You might find the pace to be a little bit faster. I want you to feel the timing of the real exam. So step number 2, identify the topic and controlling idea. Okay. What's the topic? What is the topic here? Meanwhile, I'll read Shang Hung's paraphrase. Shang Hung says, others say that people should invest the current and forthcoming generations. Explain both of these views. I see Shang Hung, it got reversed there. So Shang Hung says, in the different regions of the globe, individuals spend many days to find their family's past. Few people think that this has advantages. Some and few here. In this case, Shang Hung, some is actually means several. Okay, not few. Or a group of people think that this has advantages. Shang Hung says, others say that people should invest current and forthcoming generations. Okay, not bad. Danish saying, identify the topic controlling ideas. You're right, Danish. That was before. For Dobbs, Nabiev, good to see you in class, says, The topic here is family history. Okay. Maybe. Kesey says, in many nations, individuals put lots of effort researching family trees. Very nice, Kesey. And past events. Certain people believe that this brings lots of advantages. However, others think they should spend more time on the current and future family. Kesey, really nice paraphrase. Good for you to find those words in your thoughts, researching family trees. Indeed, that's a family tree. Your Salam, good to see you in class. Your Salam says, in different places around the globe, around the world, individuals run through many researches about their ancestors' history. Explore much information about their ancestors' history. Your Salam. Certain people agree with this ideology, while others think people should be concerned about the present and future generations. Your Salam, that's good. You don't need to disagree and think. Okay, it's unnecessary. You just need to say others think, because the while is the opposition. Okay. Sheng Hung says the topic is spend much time to research family history. Okay, I would actually say that the topic is time spent on family. Okay, so this is a little bit of a tricky one. And you definitely should always practice identifying the right topic here. Okay, I would say that the topic most accurately for this question is time spent on family or family studies. Okay, what's the controlling idea? If I have correctly identified this topic, then what's the controlling idea? Ferdov says the disadvantages and benefits of exploring family history. That's half of it, Ferdovs. If I have this, then I know that the controlling idea is benefits and deficits of researching family history versus focusing on the present and future. It's a very put together question. It's quite a tricky one. Okay, so this should be the most accurate topic and controlling idea. Time spent on family studies. So I'm investing an hour today. I can invest it on learning about my grandparents, or I can invest it in deciding how to correctly educate my child in the future, which university to send them to, for example. Okay? So time spent on family studies is the most accurate topic. Careful, students, if you don't have the right topic, it's tricky to have the best essay. Okay, fine. So let's talk about this a little bit. Let's get into some what, why, how questions. Let's jump right to the why, because the what is often intuitive. So why should we learn about lineage? Okay. So the word lineage, think of the word line. It's actually quite simple to remember. Think of line and think of age. Okay. So a family tree, like grandfather, okay, grandmother, and then you have children, okay, and then you have the children's children. So this is called a family tree, and altogether, this is called your lineage. Okay, just remember line, age, right? It's the age of the line in progression. So that's your lineage, all right? Your lineage is your past. It's also called your ancestry. Another way to say it is ancestry. So what are the benefits of knowing our ancestry, of learning our lineage? Can anybody tell me? So Ferdov says to preserve family traditions. Which may be beneficial, right? Certain family traditions for dogs can be beneficial to preserve if we know it, right? If we know our lineage. What else? Yeah, you're Salim, so you're saying to know about our origin and where we come from, but why is that, why is that advantageous? That in itself, you're Salim, to know where we come from is not necessarily a benefit. Simply because I know where I come from doesn't necessarily give me advantages. Why would that be beneficial for the future? So try to take it one step further. Okay, so Kesey says to form strong relationships Yeah, that is more specific. Okay, Kesey, that was good. So Kesey says we can form strong bonds with family members when we have deep roots, when we have a long family history, and we create respect and integrity within the family. Sure. All right. So careful here, students. To know simply where you're from isn't necessarily an advantage. If I'm thinking about this, what I would think of is something like to fuel the feeling of family pride, which encourages or motivates achievement. Okay? That would be a big one for me if I were thinking critically about this. So I visualize it. Don't forget about visualization when you're planning your ideas. And for all of our viewers, having good planning is the one biggest trick to getting high band scores. Okay, so if I visualize and I imagine that my grandfather was a great man, he was a hardworking man, and my father was a hardworking man, hopefully, not always, but hopefully, it will encourage me to carry that pride of my fathers and forefathers, and therefore I too want to become a great man. Maybe my grandfather was a doctor. My father was a doctor. So I too will become a famous doctor and help heal the world. Okay? So, all right. McConan says in some religions you can't marry your family members, so it's best to know who's your blood. Sure, okay. So even McConan, even in a broader sense there, you can actually say, and even in Muslim cultures these days, I know that there are genetic studies that are done for this. So we can say to encourage better genetics. It's a very scientific way of looking at it, but that is discussed these days, and there are a lot of people who take this very seriously. We need our family history so that we can encourage better genetic mixing for the future. So for medical purposes, your Salim says. Yes, definitely. Now you're thinking critically. Okay? Ideally, you want these to come quickly. So those are some benefits. So why focus on future generations? Let's take the opposite here. So verses. Okay? So we have lots for that first one. It's plenty. Why should we Why should we focus more time on what's going on with our children today and what will happen with our grandchildren tomorrow? So in 2035. Why should we pay attention to that rather than spending hundreds of dollars on genetic tests trying to find out where my great-grandfather was born? So Shang Hung says, because we can't change our past, but we can create our future. So okay, sure. Any other ideas? So your asylum says for a better future. Yeah. Okay, can you be a little bit more concrete? All right, so for a better future, sure. Try to give me some more ideas, okay? Take it to the next level, the same as with the advantages of investing time researching the past, okay? Okay, so one that comes to mind, and again, this is visualization, right? Is imagine the challenges of future generations. So we have all kinds of economic difficulties around the globe. We have pollution problems around the globe. We have the extinction of animal species around the globe. We have the threat of potentially interstellar dangers like meteor or comets hitting the Earth. So we have all of these looming threats, scarcity of food, scarcity of fresh water. So we have all these looming threats, overpopulation. So these are what I visualize when I think about what will my child and what will my grandchild have to deal with when they become adults. And indeed, they will need to tackle these problems and solve these very, very challenging situations. And it is my responsibility to raise them to be able to meet these challenges head on and hopefully, of course, succeed and survive. Okay? So that's absolutely the idea. And then Kesey says, well, to pass the legacy to the next generation so that they live in greater wealth and prosperity. Yes. Okay. All right. So we have our visualizations. We have our planning. What comes next? What's my step 3? While you think of step 3, if Danish is still there, I'll jump back to the question. You should always read the question, the original question, before engaging in step 3. Okay? So the original question, Danish, I know you were asking earlier, is in many parts of the world, people spend much time to research family history. Some say that this has lots of benefits. Others believe that we should focus on the present and future generations. Discuss both views and give your own opinion. Meanwhile, Sheng Hung and Roshni say, come up with a thesis statement now, Adrian, which is your next step. And that is our next step. By the way, to all of our viewers, I do usually include the question in the stream description. So you can see this question there anytime. Okay? So yeah, you're right, members. Very good. Thesis statement. Okay? It is the argument of the essay, your voice, your position, and structure of content. Okay, that's your thesis statement. All right, so I am going to create my thesis statement while you do the same, members. So write some good thesis statements. Stay on par here. Again, we're moving along nice and smooth today because I do want to show you that aside from all of the instructions I'm giving you, 40 minutes is a fair bit of time if you know what you're doing. Okay? All right, so here is my paraphrase for my thesis statement for this question. I just realized that we had IELTS Essentials join us as well. Welcome to our channel. Make sure to send me an email which describes who you are and your membership level, so I can hook you up with those perks. Okay, so this is for IELTS Essentials. Welcome to our membership, our group here. Okay, so here is my thesis statement, which shows the reader the structure of the essay, my voice, certain benefits of investing time into learning one's lineage are setting foundations to motivate achievement and discovering knowledge to negate illness. Notice the interesting parallel grammar here. Setting, discovering, foundations, knowledge, to motivate, to negate, achievement, illness. So I have the exact same grammar form in point 1 or argument point 1 of this first paragraph as in the second. And I've divided my thesis into two sentences. I usually show you one sentence thesis statements, but I want to show you that a thesis statement can be 2 sentences. It's okay. You can go sentence 1, paragraph 1, sentence 2, body paragraph 2. Okay, so to be clear, sentence 1, body 1. Sentence 2, body 2. And body 2 includes my opinion, which is I tend to support this latter belief. That means that in the end, if we must decide, it's better to focus on current and future generations than the past. Past is important, but the future is more important. So that's the side I support. So this is my thesis statement. Certain benefits of investing time into learning one's lineage are setting foundations to motivate achievement and discovering knowledge to negate illness. On the contrary, taking time to care for current and future generational needs fosters capable adults to tackle the problems of society. I tend to support this latter belief, or this latter use of time could be another way to finish that sentence. And of course, this is why we call it a thesis statement and not a thesis sentence, because you can write it in multiple sentences, even 3 sentences, if it's a bigger paper. Okay? All right. Meanwhile, Ferdows has his thesis. Ferdows says, although certain individuals ascertain that exploring family history has a lot of benefits, this is not changeable. People should focus on the current and future generations. So for Dobbs, it's not bad. I get your position, and I get that it's third-person voice, and I also get that that you're going to be writing about the exploring family history first, but it's better if you can be a little bit more direct, so a little bit clear with what I can expect in your body paragraph 1 and 2. Notice for Dobbs that in my multi-sentence thesis, the reader knows that in body paragraph 1, we can expect something about learning about family history to gain motivation and to avoid illness. Okay? We don't, well, actually in the second one, we learn that body paragraph 2 will have something about tackling problems or solving problems for society. So a little bit more direct. Okay? A good thesis should clearly message the reader the intent of the writer. All right. Okay. So while I'm waiting for more thesis statements from our members, I'm going to start my essay now. And the essay starts with the introductory paragraph. Okay. So introduction has 3 parts. It has a hook. It has background information. And it has the thesis. Okay, so those are the 3 elements of a good introduction. So those are the 3 elements of a good introduction, and you should practice having these in your introduction, whether you're sitting for the general or academic, doesn't matter. Okay. The hook should be a simple statement. It's a simple fact that introduces the topic of the essay. That's your hook. All right? Here, remember, the topic of the essay is time spent on family studies. Okay, time spent on family studies. So let's create a hook using that. Okay, here's my hook. And again, I'm encouraging all of our members to write your hooks so I can review them. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Simple, to the point. So here's my hook. It is common for most people around the globe to invest a significant amount of time to learn about their family. All right, sure, that works. Kesey's thesis statement, meanwhile, good job, Kesey, getting it out there. Kesey says, preserving family traditions and investing time to research family trees are essential, but I strongly believe that humans should focus more on current and future generational needs, because fostering strong, independent children to deal with global problems is more important. Kesey, that's very nice. Okay, so I like how your thesis emphasizes the point, the side that you agree with more, and that's great. Okay, that's good writing, Kesey. And it is specific enough that I get an idea of what you will write about. Your Salam Tuwelde says, although certain people agree that individuals should spend time to explore their family tree for different purposes, like health issues, comma, I believe that people should consider building a better future. Your solemn, your ancestors dealt with in order for preventing genetic diseases, just take that out, okay? And never switch your solemn to second person voice. So the your is a big no-no there, your solemn. Do not write your into your thesis. That emphasizes that you're writing a second person essay. It's not good, okay? Roshni says, some people ascertain that in different regions of the globe, individuals spend more time learning ancestry to motivate achievement. However, I believe those who focus on the future generations. So, Roshni, you're on the right track, just a little bit off with the word order and grammar. Otherwise, quite good. Okay. Amarjeet says, even though certain individuals think that it is important to spend quality time to explore lineage achievements, which helps to find weaknesses, opponents ascertain that taking time to learn about future and present generations, and then you retracted the rest of it. Amarjeet, I made a few corrections, but you are on the right track. Okay. Shanghung, although knowing family history has benefits for not only learning knowledge, but also avoiding past mistakes. I believe that focusing on the present and future helps to create a better life. And people should invest their times into this so their children can focus on solving global problems. Shanghung, I had to do a little bit of correction there, especially Shanghung, really pay attention to that double negative, the although and on the other hand. Okay. Danish says, although certain individuals ascertain that preserving family past has lots of benefits, people should also focus on present and future generations. Danish, it's not bad. It's a little bit vague. Vague means it's not very detailed or specific, and you don't really express a strong position there, Danish. Your thesis should express a stronger position. So here I have my hook. Again, I'm starting my introduction. It is common for most people around the globe to invest a significant amount of time to learn about their family. Now comes the background. Why are we talking about this? So millions of people spend hundreds of dollars for genetic tests to learn about their ancestry, while the world faces many challenges for the survival of the human species. Therefore, evaluating the effective use of time dedicated to family is important. Okay, and then comes the thesis. So I'm going to stick that in there. Here we go. Just copy it over. It's one of the advantages of having it on computer. If you're doing it on paper, you can just start later. Okay, so here is my introduction. Now this is a Band 9 introduction, of course. It's a bit long because it's a band 9, but it's definitely effective. So here is the full introduction. It is common for most people around the globe to invest a significant amount of time to learn about their family. Millions of people spend hundreds of dollars for genetic tests to learn about their ancestry, while the world faces many challenges for the survival of the human species. Therefore, evaluating the effective use of time dedicated to family is important. I'm going to say family studies. Certain benefits of investing time into learning one's lineage are setting foundations to motivate achievement and discovering knowledge to negate illness. On the contrary, taking time to care for current and future generational needs fosters capable adults to tackle the problems of society. I tend to support this latter belief. Okay? All right. So, Danish, if something's not clear, just send me an email if we're moving a little bit faster than usual. It's because I want to push some of our members who are a little bit more advanced to get ideas in English out on paper. And I'm also hoping that this higher paced lesson is helping you to think a little bit more in English. It's forcing you to think in English rather than translate from your own languages. Okay, Ferdovs says for his hook, many individuals always remember about their past and try to improve future outcomes. Ferdovs, you can simplify that. Many individuals remember their past and work to improve future outcomes. Okay, one more time, Ferdovs. Many individuals remember their past and work to improve future outcomes. That's a good hook. That works. Roshni says, knowledge is power to cultural evolution for individuals. Okay. Roshni, close. I would go with knowledge is the power to fuel cultural evolution. Something like that, Roshni. Kisi says, lineage is part of human history. Yes, Kisi, I would add one more word. I would say lineage is an integral part of human history. Integral means that it's woven into. It's integral. Okay? The word is like this. Kisi is an integral part. So lineage is an integral part of human history. So that would be a good hook as well, Kisi. Okay, that's a good hook. All right, so now we go into body paragraph 1. And body paragraph 1 has a topic sentence, an explanation, example, and a connecting sentence. The topic sentence should take your first point of the thesis, okay, and expand it, give it more detail. So certain benefits of investing time into learning one lineage are setting foundations to motivate achievement and discovering knowledge to negate illness. Okay, sure. So let's write about that. So when a person knows more about their roots, they can feel proud in their efforts to achieve greater goals than their forefathers. In addition, knowledge of one's ethnicity may shed light on potential health concerns. Okay, so that could be the topic sentence for body paragraph 1. All right. Amarjeet says consuming time. So reverse those, Amarjeet. Consuming time for generation studies is not only beneficial, but also workable for everyone. Okay, not a bad idea, Amarjeet. I'm not 100% sure where you're going with that, so I don't know what you mean by workable, but it's a good start. Okay, you can build from that. Ferdov says a lot of people worldwide opt to spend much money to learn about their past, while there are many problems and challenges to improve current and future situations. Ferdovs. Very good. Okay, I like how some of you are now not waiting so much to have a perfect sentence and comment, but you're just getting it out. Okay, that's my plan for the day, so it's working. I'm pushing you to type and comment faster. Good. Okay, explanation. If a person discovers that there are several renowned intellectuals up and down their family tree, like lawyers and doctors, they too may feel empowered for postgraduate studies to maintain tradition. Okay, that's my explanation 1 for being motivated to achieve and be as good as our forefathers, or maybe even better. Okay, maybe my forefather was a farmer, and so I decide, hey, I'm going to be not only a farmer, but a farm owner and own several farms, and then I'll become a businessman, and I'll become one of the great agricultural giants of the future, right? So there are many ways to approach this explanation. And then, of course, comes the second half of the explanation, which is the medical part. Further to this, individual can also come to learn that there is a high incidence of heart disease in the family, so they can avoid serious issues like heart attacks by going for regular checks and eating a healthy diet. Okay. All right. So there is my body paragraph so far. When a person knows more about their roots, they can feel proud in their effort to achieve greater goals than their forefathers. In addition, knowledge of one's ethnicity may shed light on potential health concerns. If a person discovers that there are several renowned intellectuals up and down their family tree, like lawyers and doctors, they too may feel empowered for postgraduate studies to maintain tradition. Further to this, an individual can also come to learn that there's a high incidence of heart disease in the family, so they can avoid serious issues like heart attacks by going for regular health checks or regular checkups and eating a healthy diet. Okay? These are both true in my case, as my father and grandfather were both doctors, and this encouraged me to earn a doctorate degree in psychology. Okay. Also, there is a high incidence of high occurrence of heart disease in my family, so I go for regular annual visits to the doctor's office. Okay. All right. So I'm moving along here, obviously at a high pace. I'm writing for a Band 9 essay. I'm pushing you members today's class. I know I am. That's my goal here, so don't shy away from it. Your Salam says, studying my origins and roots can enhance my health and prevent health issues from different genetic disorders. Your Salam, take out the word your, talk about yourself or talk about people in general, if it's first or third person writing. Kisi says, it is proud of a person who knows their family history. Other way, Kisi, a person who knows their family history has pride or is proud. Family trees not only help members to form strong bonds, but they also pass traditions and motivate achievement. Good, Kisi. That's a good topic sentence for your body paragraph. It's very clear. Okay. Ferdav says, knowing about the past gives a lot of privileges, not only to plan for the future, but also to protect themselves from illness, which are associated with their genetics. Ferdav's very nice. Okay, some good writing, members. Amarjeet says, I want to write about businessmen in body paragraph 1. So what should I write? Well, Amarjeet, then what you can do in the explanation is replace doctors and lawyers with businessmen. So if a person, so Amarjeet, this is for you. If a person discovers that there are several successful entrepreneurs or businessmen in their family tree, they too may feel motivated to be successful merchants or successful entrepreneurs, successful businessmen. Those are all synonyms. Okay, and then you can say, for instance, my grandfather built a lucrative company with over 30 stores, and this has encouraged me to not only further build his business, but establish similar stores internationally. Okay, something like that, Amarjeet. That's a very clever way to approach it. So again, this is visualization, and there are more than there is more than one way to skin the cat. I'm just giving you one example here. Okay. All right. I have one more sentence left. It is going to be my connecting concluding sentence. Certainly, these are clear benefits to learning about one's history, but they are worthless without being able to preserve and build the future. Okay? All right, so that is my complete body paragraph 1. Okay? A little bit long, of course. I'm probably already at like 200 words, but again, this is a band 9. Students, if you're writing a band 7, 7.5, you can have about 30% less information in text. The idea is still just to have the same structure. Okay. Members, I know that was challenging. That was my goal. And I think that you did a great job so far. And tomorrow we will finish this essay. So keep going. For homework, put body paragraph 1 and the introduction together. Complete it. Okay. Tomorrow we'll do body 2. We'll do the conclusion. And remember, students, it's important to focus on a strategy for planning and for structure and fluency. It's also very important that you do push yourself every now and again for task 1 and task 2 so that you're not only thinking smart, but you're also thinking quickly and hopefully thinking in English as much as possible. That's my final message for this Members Chat class. Check us out at aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for the general. In 30 minutes, I will continue with a little bit slower paced, but also very important listening IELTS class for sections 1 and 2. Hopefully, I will see most of you in that class. Bye for now.